Welcome back. Today's topic is a deep dive into the most valuable United Kingdom 1 penny coins, focusing on a top 5 list based on different years, mint marks, rarity levels, and conditions. These humble bronze pennies may look ordinary at first glance, but in the world of numismatics, some of them are worth life-changing money depending on their survival rate and grade. Let's get started. First up, the 1936 United Kingdom 1 penny. This historic bronze coin is famous because it was the final penny issued during the reign of King George V. Even in fine or circulated condition, this coin attracts attention from collectors around the world because of its historical importance, age, and growing auction value in dollars. Some people find these coins in old collections, family boxes, or antique markets without realizing they may own a valuable collectible. In today's video, we will discuss the history of the 1936 penny, its unique features, rarity, collector demand, current market value, and important tips for coin collectors. The 1936 1 penny was minted in the United Kingdom during a very important period in British history. This was the final year of King George V's reign before his death in January 1936. Because of this, the coin represents the end of an era in British coinage. The coin was produced in bronze and featured the classic seated Britannia design on the reverse side, a symbol that had appeared on British pennies for many generations. The obverse side displays the portrait of King George V facing left. The 1936 penny became historically important because the following year brought major royal changes, including the short reign of Edward VIII and then King George VI. Many collectors consider the 1936 penny to be one of the final classic British bronze pennies of the old imperial period. According to coin value guides, millions were minted, but truly attractive examples in higher grades are much harder to locate today. One of the most recognizable features of the 1936 United Kingdom penny is its large bronze size and beautiful traditional design. The coin weighs around 9.4 grams and has a diameter of about 31 millimeters. The reverse side shows Britannia seated with a trident and shield, while the C appears in the background. This design gives the coin a strong vintage appearance that collectors love. The obverse side features the portrait of King George V along with Latin inscriptions identifying him as King and Emperor of India. The rich brown bronze color seen on well-preserved examples can greatly increase collector interest. Coins with clear date numbers, strong details in Britannia's gown, and visible facial details on King George V are considered more desirable. Many collectors also search for unusual strike variations, errors, or coins with attractive toning. Even though the 1936 penny is not as rare as the famous 1933 penny, it still holds strong demand because of its connection to British history. Now let's talk about rarity and collector demand in damaged or fine condition. A large number of 1936 pennies entered circulation, which means many surviving examples today show heavy wear, scratches, discoloration, or environmental damage. However, collectors still buy these coins because they are nearly 90 years old and represent the final year of King George V coinage. Coins in damaged condition usually sell for only a small premium, but examples with readable dates and decent detail still attract beginner collectors. Online collector discussions often mention that cleaned or heavily damaged coins lose much of their numismatic value, while naturally aged examples remain more desirable. The demand becomes much stronger when the coin is found in fine, very fine, or uncirculated condition. Auction buyers especially compete for coins with original surfaces and minimal wear. Some high-grade examples certified by professional grading companies have sold for surprisingly strong prices because truly well-preserved coins are harder to find than many people expect. Let's move to the most exciting part, the current market value in dollars. According to modern coin price guides, a heavily circulated or damaged 1936 1 penny may only sell for around $1 to $3. A fine condition example with visible details can often sell between $4 and $10 depending on eye appeal and collector demand. Coins graded in extremely fine or almost uncirculated condition can reach values between $20 and $80. Certified mint state examples are much more valuable. Some auction quality coins graded MS65 or higher have sold for over $100 at auctions because collectors compete for the best preserved pieces. The final value always depends on several important factors including condition, rarity, color, strike quality, and whether the coin has been cleaned or damaged. Coins with original red-brown surfaces usually sell for higher prices than dark or heavily corroded examples. If you own a 1936 United Kingdom penny, there are several important things you should remember. First, never clean the coin. Cleaning can scratch the surface and destroy collector value instantly. Many experienced collectors strongly warn against polishing old bronze coins because it reduces authenticity and market price. Second, store the coin safely in a protective holder or coin capsule to prevent further damage. Moisture and humidity can create corrosion on bronze coins over time. Third, carefully check the condition of your coin under good lighting. Coins with sharper details and original color are usually worth more money. If you believe your coin is in exceptionally high condition, you may consider professional grading from a respected coin grading company. Finally, always compare recent auction sales before selling your coin. Prices can change depending on collector demand and market trends. The 1936 United Kingdom 1 penny may look like an ordinary old bronze coin, but it carries an important place in British history. As the final penny issued during the reign of King George V, it remains a favourite among coin collectors worldwide. While damaged examples are usually affordable, fine and uncirculated pieces can bring surprisingly strong auction prices in dollars. Its historic background, beautiful Britannia design, and collector demand make it a fascinating coin to own. Next up, the 1939 United Kingdom 1 penny. This historic bronze coin was issued during the reign of King George VI, right at the beginning of World War II. Even in circulated condition, the 1939 penny attracts attention because of its historical importance, collector demand, and growing auction interest. Some examples may only sell for a few dollars, while exceptional circulated pieces with strong details can surprise collectors at auction. In today's video, we'll explore the history of the coin, its unique features, rarity, collector demand, and the current market value in US dollars. The 1939 1 penny coin was produced in the United Kingdom during the reign of George VI. This was a very important period in world history because 1939 marked the beginning of World War II. The British economy and daily life were changing rapidly, and coins from this era became symbols of resilience and survival. The coin was minted in bronze and circulated widely throughout Britain. Millions of these pennies were used in everyday trade, from buying newspapers to paying for food and transportation. Because they were heavily used during wartime years, many surviving examples today show scratches, fading, corrosion, and worn designs. Collectors love these coins not only for their age but also because they represent a dramatic historical era. According to coin value guides, approximately 55 million pieces were minted, making the coin relatively common compared to ultra-rare British pennies like the famous 1933 issue. However, high-quality circulated examples and coins with attractive surfaces still maintain collector interest. One of the most recognizable features of the 1939 British penny is the portrait of King George VI on the obverse side. The king faces left, and the surrounding Latin inscription identifies him as ruler of Britain and Emperor of India. The portrait was designed by engraver Thomas Humphrey Paget and remains one of the most admired royal portraits in British coinage. On the reverse side, the coin displays the famous seated Britannia holding a trident and shield. Britannia has been a symbol of British strength for centuries, and her appearance on the penny gives the coin a classic vintage look that collectors appreciate today. The coin weighs about 9.4 grams and measures roughly 31 millimeters in diameter. It was struck in bronze and has a plain edge. Many circulated examples have turned dark brown over time, while some pieces still retain traces of their original reddish luster. Coins with stronger detail in Britannia's shield, facial features, and trident usually command higher prices. Now let's talk about rarity and collector demand, especially for circulated or damaged examples. The 1939 penny is not considered extremely rare because millions were produced. However, condition plays a huge role in value. Most coins found today are heavily worn, scratched, stained, or environmentally damaged after decades of circulation. Collectors generally look for coins with readable dates, clear portraits, and less surface damage. Even damaged coins still sell because many beginners enjoy collecting affordable World War II era coins. Some collectors specifically search for circulated pieces because they show authentic history and real use during wartime Britain. Online collector discussions also show that many hobbyists keep 1939 pennies simply because of their connection to the Second World War period. Even if the coins are not extremely valuable, if a circulated coin has unusual toning, strong detail, or possible minting errors, demand can increase significantly. Error varieties and unusually preserved circulated examples often attract competitive bidding in online auctions. So, how much is a 1939 United Kingdom 1 penny worth today in circulated condition? According to recent coin price guides and auction references, a heavily circulated example may sell for around 50 cents to $2. Fine condition circulated pieces often range between $3 and $8 depending on detail and eye appeal. Better quality examples with strong surfaces and less wear can reach $10 to $20 or more in auctions. Uncirculated examples are where values rise dramatically. Some mint state coins have sold for over $50, especially coins with original red color and sharp strike quality. Coin grading services can also increase value because certified coins are trusted more by buyers. Collectors should remember that auction prices constantly change depending on market demand, coin grading, and the number of interested bidders. A common circulated penny may suddenly sell for higher prices if it has excellent eye appeal or historical presentation. If you own a 1939 British penny or plan to buy one, here are some important collector tips. First, always check the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for sharp details on Britannia, clear lettering, and minimal corrosion. Coins with cleaner surfaces usually attract more buyers. Second, avoid cleaning old coins. Many beginners accidentally reduce the value of their coins by polishing or scrubbing them. Natural aging and original surfaces are preferred by collectors. Third, store the coin properly in a coin holder or protective capsule. Bronze coins can corrode over time if exposed to moisture or fingerprints. Finally, compare auction results before selling. Prices can vary greatly between online marketplaces, coin dealers, and professional auctions. If you believe your coin has an unusual error or exceptional condition, consider professional grading for better market value. The 1939 United Kingdom 1 penny may not be the rarest British coin ever made, but it remains an important collectible because of its connection to World War II and the reign of King George VI. Even circulated and damaged examples continue to attract collectors who appreciate history, vintage coinage, and affordable British collectibles, while most circulated coins sell for only a few dollars. Better preserved examples can reach much higher auction prices. The combination of historical importance, classic Britannia design, and growing collector interest keeps this old British penny relevant in today's coin market. Next up, the 1937 United Kingdom 1 penny coin in dirty or heavily circulated condition. At first glance, this old bronze penny may not look valuable because of its worn surfaces, dark color, and decades of use. But surprisingly, even damaged examples attract collectors because of their historical importance and connection to the early reign of King George VI. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1937 penny, its unique features, collector demand, rarity in poor condition, and the current auction market value in US dollars. If you enjoy rare coin discoveries and hidden values, make sure to watch until the end. The 1937 1 penny coin was the very first penny issued during the reign of George VI. After the abdication crisis of King Edward VIII in 1936, George VI became king, and new coin designs were introduced across the United Kingdom. This made the 1937 penny historically significant because it represented a new chapter in British history just before the outbreak of the Second World War. The coin was struck in bronze and circulated heavily throughout Britain for many years. Millions were produced, so the coin itself is not considered extremely rare in average circulated grades. However, collectors still enjoy owning these pennies because they are tied to an important historical era. The design also became iconic among British coin collectors. According to coin value guides, circulated examples remain affordable, while higher-grade uncirculated coins can become surprisingly valuable. One of the most recognizable features of the 1937 penny is the portrait of King George VI on the front of the coin. The inscription around the portrait reads, Georgiev 6D GBROMN Rex F laughing smiley ANDIMP, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse side, the coin displays the famous seated Britannia holding a trident and shield beside the sea. This classic design appeared on British pennies for generations and remains highly respected by collectors today. The coin is made from bronze, giving it a dark brown appearance after decades of circulation. Dirty condition coins often show scratches, black spots, corrosion, rim damage, or faded lettering. Many collectors actually like heavily circulated examples because they clearly show the coin's long journey through history. Another interesting feature is that 1937 marked the first full circulation year for George VI pennies, increasing collector interest compared to some later dates. Now let's talk about rarity and collector demand. In dirty or damaged condition, the 1937 penny is not extremely rare because large numbers were minted and circulated widely. Many surviving examples today are heavily worn or darkened from decades of handling. However, collector demand still exists for several reasons. First, the coin is historically important as the first George VI penny. Second, many beginner collectors look for affordable vintage British coins, and damaged examples are usually inexpensive entry-level pieces. Third, some collectors enjoy building full-date collections, meaning they need a 1937 penny regardless of condition. Online collector discussions often describe worn 1937 pennies as common but still desirable as historical keepsakes. Some coin enthusiasts mention that badly worn pieces usually have low market value, while sharper examples attract more serious buyers. Collectors also warn against cleaning these coins. Cleaning removes the original surface and can lower collector value significantly. Natural aging and dirt are often preferred over harsh cleaning damage, so, how much is a dirty condition 1937 United Kingdom 1 penny worth today? In heavily circulated or dirty condition, most examples typically sell for around 50 cents to $3 depending on the visibility of details and overall appearance. Coins with heavy wear, corrosion, or scratches usually stay at the lower end of the market. Fine condition examples can reach around $1 to $5, while better very fine coins may sell between $5 and $15. According to recent coin price guides, uncirculated examples with original red color can reach $35 to $100 or more at auctions. Exceptional proof-like pieces sometimes sell for even higher prices. Auction values also depend on demand, eye appeal, and whether the coin has been professionally graded. Dirty coins with unusual toning or strong historical character sometimes attract collectors even when technically damaged. Compared to ultra-rare British pennies like the famous 1933 penny worth thousands of dollars, the 1937 penny is much more affordable. Still, it remains an important collectible from pre-war Britain. If you own a 1937 penny in dirty condition, here are a few useful collecting tips. First, never clean the coin aggressively. Even if the coin looks dark or dirty, cleaning can permanently reduce its value. Collectors generally prefer original surfaces. Second, examine the details carefully. Look at the king's hair, Britannia's shield, and the lettering around the edge. Stronger details usually mean a higher grade and better value. Third, store the coin properly. Use acid-free holders or coin capsules to protect it from moisture and further damage. Experts recommend avoiding PVC plastic holders because they can harm bronze coins over time. Finally, if you believe your coin has unusual errors, strong detail, or rare coloration, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. The 1937 United Kingdom 1 penny may not be one of the rarest British coins ever made, but it still carries strong historical importance and collector appeal. Even in dirty or heavily circulated condition, this old bronze penny represents the beginning of King George VI's reign and a fascinating era in British history. While most damaged examples are worth only a few dollars, collector demand continues because of the coin's age, design, and historical connection. Higher grade examples can achieve much stronger auction prices, especially with original surfaces and sharp details. If you have a 1937 penny hidden away in an old jar or coin collection, it may not make you rich, but it is definitely a wonderful piece of history worth preserving. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1967 coin in rusty condition. At first glance, many people think a rusty or damaged old penny has no value at all. But in the world of coin collecting, even heavily circulated and rusty coins can attract attention because of their history, age, and collector demand. The 1967 British penny is especially interesting because it was one of the final pre-decimal pennies issued before the United Kingdom changed its currency system in 1971. Even though millions were produced, collectors still search for these coins today, especially unusual examples with unique wear, toning, or errors. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1967 1 penny coin, its special features, rarity in rusty condition, and how much these coins can sell for in today's auction market in US dollars. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1967 belongs to the famous pre-decimal British currency system. Before decimalisation, Britain used pounds, shillings, and pence, where £1 was equal to 240 pennies. This system had existed for centuries and was deeply connected to British history. The 1967 penny was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and became one of the last circulating bronze pennies before the new decimal currency arrived in 1971. These coins were struck in bronze and featured the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side. On the reverse side, the classic image of Britannia seated with a trident and shield continued a design tradition that had appeared on British pennies for generations. The Royal Mint produced huge numbers of 1967 pennies because people were preparing for the future currency change. According to collector references, more than 200 million examples were minted, making it a common date in circulated condition. Even though the coin is common, it remains popular because it represents the final years of Britain's old monetary system. Many collectors see it as a nostalgic piece of British history. Online collector discussions also describe the 1967 penny as the last major circulating pre-decimal penny, adding historical importance to the coin. The 1967 United Kingdom penny has several distinctive features that make it recognizable among collectors. The coin is made from bronze, containing mostly copper with smaller amounts of tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 9.45 grams and has a large diameter of over 30 millimeters, much bigger than the modern British penny. The obverse side displays Queen Elizabeth II facing right, designed by Mary Gillick. Around the portrait are the Latin inscriptions identifying the Queen. The reverse features Britannia seated beside the sea, holding a trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's strength and naval power. This Britannia design is one of the most iconic images in British coinage history. Now, when we talk about rusty condition, things become even more interesting. Technically, bronze coins do not rust like iron, but they can develop dark corrosion, stains, rough surfaces, or green oxidation called verdigris. Many old 1967 pennies found in soil, water, or poor storage conditions develop heavy discoloration and surface damage. While most collectors prefer clean and sharp coins, some collectors enjoy heavily circulated examples because they show real history and age. A rusty or heavily corroded penny may also reveal unusual colors, dark chocolate toning, or textured surfaces that make the coin visually unique. In some cases, coins damaged by environmental exposure become conversation pieces among collectors. The 1967 penny is not considered rare in normal circulated grades because millions survive today. In fact, collector discussions online often mention how many people saved these coins during the decimal transition period. Some collectors even call the 1967 penny one of the most common British bronze coins ever made. However, condition plays a huge role in coin collecting. Most valuable 1967 pennies are those found in uncirculated or mint state condition. Rusty or damaged examples usually have much lower value because corrosion destroys details and lowers collector appeal. Still, not every damaged coin is worthless. Collectors may pay attention to rusty 1967 pennies if they have unusual minting errors, rare die cracks, off-center strikes, or interesting environmental toning. Error coins from 1967 can sometimes sell for surprisingly high prices, even if the coin itself is worn. Another reason collectors buy rusty pennies is affordability. Not everyone can purchase expensive uncirculated coins, so lower-grade examples allow beginner collectors to own a piece of British numismatic history at a low price. Metal detector hobbyists and treasure hunters also enjoy finding these large bronze pennies in old fields and gardens. Online coin communities frequently discuss discovering 1967 pennies underground or in old collections. Now let's talk about the big question everyone wants answered: how much is a United Kingdom 1 penny 1967 rusty condition worth in dollars? According to recent coin value guides, standard circulated 1967 pennies are generally worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on condition. Extremely worn or rusty examples usually sell for around 10 cents to $1 in the collector market. If the coin still has readable details despite the corrosion, collectors may pay slightly more, especially if the coin has attractive natural toning or historical appeal. Coins in fine condition can sometimes reach $2 to $5, while uncirculated examples may sell for $15 to $40 or even higher in certified grades. Auction prices increase dramatically when mint errors are involved. Rare versions of the 1967 penny have reportedly sold for anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on the rarity of the mistake. For rusty condition specifically, value depends heavily on how severe the damage is. A coin with light corrosion and visible detail may still attract collectors. But if the surface is heavily damaged, bent, or unreadable, the value usually stays very low. In many cases, the historical charm matters more than the financial worth. If you own a rusty 1967 British penny, there are several important things you should know before trying to sell or clean it. First, avoid harsh cleaning methods. Many beginners think cleaning a coin will increase its value, but collectors usually prefer original surfaces, even if they are dark or dirty. Cleaning can scratch the coin and reduce its appeal. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny coin from 1917 in damaged condition. At first glance, many people might think a worn or damaged old penny has little value, but collectors know that even heavily circulated coins from the early 20th century can attract strong interest in the numismatic market. The 1917 penny is over a century old, carries the history of World War I, and remains an important collectible for enthusiasts around the world. In this video, we'll explore the history behind this coin, its unique features, how damage affects rarity and collector demand, and what these pennies can sell for in today's auction market in US dollars. The United Kingdom 1 penny coin of 1917 was issued during the reign of King George V. Millions of these coins were used in daily trade, meaning most surviving examples today show signs of wear, scratches, corrosion, or other forms of damage. The obverse side of the coin features the portrait of King George V facing left, designed by Sir Bertram McKennell. Around the portrait appears the Latin inscription identifying the king. The reverse side displays the iconic seated Britannia holding a trident and shield, a classic design that appeared on British pennies for decades. Even in damaged condition, the historical beauty of the coin still attracts collectors who appreciate vintage British currency and wartime history. The coin has a rich brown appearance when preserved well, although damaged examples often develop dark toning, scratches, dents, or corrosion spots over time. Some coins may even appear almost black because of oxidation after decades of circulation and storage. Collectors also pay close attention to the sharpness of the lettering, the king's portrait, and the details in Britannia's shield and trident. Coins with clearer details naturally command higher prices, but even damaged examples can still be desirable if the date remains visible and the coin has authentic surfaces. Some collectors specifically enjoy problem coins because they are affordable ways to own a piece of history from the early 1900s. Another important feature is the age factor. A coin from 1917 is now more than 100 years old, making it a genuine antique. Many surviving examples have been lost, melted, or destroyed over the decades, increasing collector interest in any authentic specimen that survives today. Now let's talk about rarity and collector demand. The 1917 British penny is not considered one of the rarest pennies ever produced, but finding examples in excellent condition is becoming increasingly difficult. Most surviving coins are heavily circulated or damaged because they spent decades in everyday use. That means damaged coins are actually the most commonly available examples on the market today. Even so, damaged coins still attract buyers for several reasons. First, beginner collectors often purchase low-grade examples because they are affordable. Second, historical collectors value the connection to World War I Britain. Third, some damaged coins may show unusual toning, minting variations, or environmental effects that make them visually unique. Collectors usually divide damaged coins into categories such as cleaned, scratched, bent, corroded, holed, or heavily worn. A mildly damaged coin with visible details can still have collectible value, while severely damaged pieces may only sell as historical curiosities. Online discussions among collectors often point out that heavy post-mint damage can significantly reduce value compared to undamaged examples. Interestingly, auction markets sometimes surprise collectors when unusual-looking pennies attract strong bidding due to eye appeal or historical interest. While extremely rare mint-era pennies can reach very high prices, ordinary damaged 1917 pennies usually remain affordable for most collectors. So, how much is a 1917 United Kingdom 1 penny worth today in damaged condition? The answer depends on the severity of the damage, the visibility of the date and design, and current collector demand. According to recent coin value guides, ordinary circulated examples in decent collectible condition are usually valued at only a few dollars, while higher-grade examples can rise significantly in price. For heavily damaged or corroded 1917 pennies, auction prices are often between about $1 and $10. Coins with moderate wear but readable details may sell in the range of $10 to $25 if collectors find them attractive. Better preserved examples with less damage can move toward $50 or more, especially if they retain strong detail or appealing natural toning. Professional coin price guides list higher-grade 1917 pennies reaching values above $100 in mint state condition. However, truly damaged coins rarely achieve those premium prices unless they possess a rare error or unusual historical feature. It's also important to remember that online auction prices constantly change depending on collector interest, bidding competition, and market trends. If you own a 1917 British penny in damaged condition, there are several important tips to remember. First, never clean the coin aggressively. Cleaning can scratch the surface and lower its collector value even further. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing old coins, but experienced collectors prefer natural surfaces and original aging. Second, store the coin properly in a dry holder or protective capsule. Bronze coins can corrode if exposed to moisture for long periods. Proper storage helps preserve whatever detail remains on the coin. While most damaged pennies are common, rare varieties can occasionally appear and dramatically increase value. Finally, compare your coin with recent auction listings and trusted coin price guides before selling. Understanding the condition and market demand will help you avoid unrealistic expectations while still appreciating the historical importance of your coin. The United Kingdom 1 penny coin from 1917 is a fascinating piece of British history that continues to capture the attention of collectors more than a century after it was minted. Even in damaged condition, whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1917 British penny remains an interesting and affordable collectible worth exploring. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more rare coin stories and auction value updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.